Hey everybody, it's John from the Gloucester Library, and for today's Let's Draw a mermaid. Alright, let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw my mermaid's head over here. So I'm going to draw the cheek and the jaw, the chin, all the way up and across to the other side of the jaw. So it's the cheek, the jaw, down to the chin, and then back up. And then I'm going to draw the hair. I'm going to have her hair kind of come down around there and kind of connect up there. You can do a different hairstyle if you like. This is the one I've just picked. I'm going to bring the side of my head up to meet my hair. And then inside of my face here, I'm going to start with the eyes. So I have like one eye here. And you can do all sorts of shapes. You could do like a little circle for the eyes. You can do a, an oval, an almond type shape. And this is just the type of shape that I wanted to do for mine. And I'm going to draw the iris, curving like this, and the pupil. And I'm adding just a little bit of a darker line on top to show the shadow there. And then I'm going to draw the nose. And it can just be a little bump if you want. I might put just like a little dot there for one of the nostrils that are showing. And then I'm going to do the line for the mouth, and I'm going to have it curve up a little because I have a happy mermaid. Maybe do a little line on the bottom here for the bottom lip, and a little line on top, kind of like a little bit of an M shape for the upper lip. And then I'm going to do a line for the eyebrow, just like that. My other one's covered up by my hair, but if it wasn't, just kind of do the same thing, a little bit above the eye, and have it curve up a little so that she looks happy. And then I'm going to draw the bottom of an ear, where the rest of it's hidden under the hair. And then before I draw the rest of her hair, I'm going to start to draw her body. So I'm going to have her kind of laying down on some rocks in front of the water, but I'm not going to worry about the rocks yet. First, I'm going to have her neck come down here and here, and then go across and then up like this to where her shoulder is. And then this is going to be her upper arm. So do the upper arm like this. And then her forearm kind of tapers in. And I'm going to do the hand. And I'm going to have her hand kind of backwards a little. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to have the first bump for her palm here, and this is the thumb. And it's going to come out just like that. And then another bump for the other side. So like right here, and then this part, the part's facing away. And then have the hand come down, and then go into a finger, and another finger just behind it, maybe a hint of one more finger, just like that. Alright, and now I'm going to draw her torso. So at first I'm going to have it kind of curve up like this, and then same thing here on the other side, kind of have it kind of come up like that, kind of curve up. Top of her torso here, between her neck and shoulder there, that part of her back that's showing. And then a bump for the shoulder. And I'm going to have her wearing like a kind of a tank top. So that's kind of curved down here. And I'm going to have a strap here that comes down. and a strap here. And this one kind of curves down around behind. And it's going to be like a little pattern below here. So I'm going to have the shape of the bottom and just do like some little lines here to show like a little bit of a pattern in the bottom. Make it a little more interesting. Same thing up here. I'm going to follow my lines. So they kind of like be the ribs in that part of the material. And doing little lines inside just to kind of give it some texture, some decoration there. And then I'm going to have her tail, well, we're going to go down into the tail here. First I'm going to do like kind of like a belt almost that comes across, just to show like the separation between her human looking body and the fish part of her body. And I'm going to do like a sort of like a bunch of U shapes here, almost like scales to kind of separate, but it's sort of like a belt to separate the top from the bottom. Let me erase this little part there, kind of went over. Maybe like a little dot for her belly button, and then have it, her hips come down to here, this hip come down to here and curve down, and then this part for her leg go into her hips there, and then I'm going to have her tail kind of come up here, so we're going to draw this line coming up like that, and this one going down like that. So it kind of goes, tapers inward, just like our legs do. So if you can kind of just imagine, she has two legs that are together going into this tail. And then I'm going to draw the flipper, the back tail fin. I guess it would be like a caudal fin, like on a fish. It's kind of got this type of shape there. And same thing on this side. I'll try to make them meet. Oops. I might draw a little bit of a line there just to show the separation of the fins. I think I'm going to do some little lines in here just to do like the little like ribs of the fin there, the tail fin. There we go. And if you want, you can do a few little U shapes on her tail just to show where there's scales on there. And then I'm going to finish up this arm, just it's going to be hidden behind her body. We just have the line go all the way down there. Oops. A little bit too far. There we go. And now I'm going to finish her hair. So I'm going to have her hair kind of come down like that. So she's got long hair that goes down past her back. Maybe have it show a little bit down here. A little bit of zigzaggy line there. And maybe I'll add a couple eyelashes. You don't have to do them all the way. I'm just going to do like 1, 2, 3. And maybe a couple on the bottom, like 1, 2. 1, 2. Maybe one showing on that side. If you have more of your eye showing on that side, go ahead and draw more on that side to match. And maybe a little bit of the collarbones showing there. Kind of goes with the curve up to the shoulders. Alright, and I'm going to have her on some rocks. So I'm going to use kind of some really blocky shapes, because you know, the rocks on the beach, I remember them being kind of like that in some of the pictures that I like. I mean, that you can of course use rounded as well if you like, because that's realistic too. There's a lot of roundedness in the rocks. I just like the way that looks. So I'm going to do that, and let's go back in and color. So I'm going to give my mermaid, maybe blonde hair. So I'm going to go in and use a colored pencil to go in there and shade. If you're using crayon, it'll work the same way. And I'm going to color in real lightly to start. So don't press down really hard, press down really light. And I'm doing this to fill in with the yellow color for the blonde hair. And then the parts where there's going to be shadow, like right here, I'm going to press down harder. And right here I'm going to press down harder so I get that shadow. And like here, and a little bit lighter so I can blend it in. There we go. And harder here so I get that shadow. Alright, and then I'm going to color in her skin. I guess I'll give her like just a regular peach type skin tone, I suppose. Like that. I mean, I would do like green sometimes if you're doing like or a blue if you're doing like something different, something that matches more like a fish. But for this one, I'm going to do like the mermaids that have a regular type of flesh tone. So I'm going to color in the skin lightly. Just real lightly to start. Try to fill it all in there. And then for the shadow areas, just go in there and press down harder. There's going to be shadow. And here, under the neck, there'll be some shadow. Right here, there'll be some shadow. Side of the arm. Down the bottom of the hand. Let's see where the hair meets the face here. It'll be darker, like under the nose. And that ear there. Alright. And then I'm going to go in and do, let's give her like some, get some green eyes. I'll do green eyes. Lightly. And then press down at the top. It's gotta be where more of the shadow would be coming from there. Because of the brow covering a bit and the hair. Making the shadow there. Maybe like a little bit of reddish or pinkish for the lips. It's real light. And then maybe like a little heavier. In between, like following the line of the lips. Just add the shadow there. And let's say for her tank top, let's do a similar color to her lips, that pinkish type tone. You can use any shade that you want, but I'm going to use this one. If I make a bigger brush, there we go. Just because I think it matches really well. Or you can match it to the color of your mermaid's eyes. You know, whatever you think looks best. I just like the way this kind of blends with the color of her lips there. Alright, and then I'm going to do like a green for the tail. Maybe like a more of a teal. I think I like a teal color. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Alright, we'll color it in lightly first. Alright, colored in lightly. There we go, right there. And then we'll press in, darken it in, press in harder here for the shadow underneath, like that belt type shape there. And right here, the bottom for like hips and leg. Not really leg, but that part of her tail. There we go. And a little bit here where the light is going to hit, and then the shadow towards the top, or out towards the bottom there. Alright, and then let's do some gray for the rocks. So lightly color it in, and then press in harder for some of the shadow parts there on the rocks. A light, just to fill it in, and then harder, press in harder for some of the shadow part. And back here. Alright, some shadow where she's sitting on the rocks. Alright, and then I'm going to do a little bit of blue in the background for the water. Pick like a deep blue like that. But it's not going to look too, not going to look too deep, because I'm not going to press down very hard. And I'm going to kind of like do this type of thing, kind of like to make it look like waves, and do this type of back and forth with it. You can do this with your crayons and colored pencils. It's harder with the colored pencils because the tips are so fine, so it might be more work with those than it would be with crayons. I'll just get lighter as I go up. Alright. A little bit more. There we go. Alright. So there's our mermaid. I hope you enjoyed today's Let's Draw, and I hope to see you next time.